gardenville.tv. Here we are at Bloom in the Phoenix Park 2011 and this place is buzzing. Now we're with Adam McCauley from Grow Green Solutions and you've got a very innovative way of composting and whatever else. So what have you got here?
Well, this is the Big Pig domestic it's a food waste digester. There's two different sizes, the Big Pig and the Little Pig. These are domestic food waste composters. So basically these take all your kitchen waste. Right. So anything that you have in your kitchen, or in fact any biodegradable material at all, can go into these, and they're fully finished compost in 6 weeks.
And you put them all into the one area?
It's a twin chamber design, as you can see here.
Right.
So what you do is you use one chamber at a time.
Let's open this up and we'll have a look. Oh right.
Two identical chambers. You use one chamber at a time. So you start with the first chamber. You fill the first chamber. When the first chamber is full, you start in the second chamber. And by the time you fill the second chamber, the first chamber is fully finished composting. It's ready to be emptied, and you start again in the first.
And how do you empty this?
It just rotates. It's a rotating composter like that.
Oh,
so it just rotates.
Clever.
It can also be mounted. It comes with brackets too. It can also be mounted on a wall if you want. If you have a little garden wall, you can mount it on the wall. And you can put your wheelbarrow underneath and empty it into your wheelbarrow.
Now, Susan's a horticulturist. She'll talk to you maybe about composting, etc.
Right, so basically, when this stuff is finished, it's usable in your garden, just as a mulch or even mixed with potting compost.
Absolutely, it's fully finished compost. It's free from pathogens. This works at a very, very high temperature. This works at about over 70 degrees Celsius.
What temperature do we get up
so
to?
it has to build to that.
It has to get to that temperature to kill off pathogens, to rot down the food.
Exactly. So it works up to 75 degrees Celsius.
I noticed you got air holes there, so we're talking about aerobic.
It's aerobic digestion, exactly.
Okay.
That's part of the reason why it tumbles as well.
Yeah.
You put your food waste in your wood pellets, close the lid, and you rotate the drum, and that mixes the air with it as well.
Yeah. And you were talking about, as you say, putting in wood pellets as well for that little bit of taking up the excess moisture.
Yes. The wood pellets absorb excess moisture inside, which keeps it dry. Because it's dry and along with the insulation, it helps it reach the temperature and stay at the high temperature.
And sawdust does the same.
Yeah, exactly. Sawdust does the same job. Yeah. There's also the carbon in the wood. Helps with the pH level inside as well, keeps it nice and balanced.
So you put in the wood pellets with it?
You put a small amount, a handful, as you're putting your food waste in, you put a handful of wood pellets in with it.
At the same time?
Just throw it in and close the lid.
Close the lid and all. Isn't that just brilliant? So then in 6 weeks' time,
fully finished compost.
Fully finished compost. It doesn't matter if you leave it any longer, obviously.
No, when it's finished composting, it just loses its heat.
Yeah.
But you see, this is the larger of the two composters. This can take 2.5 kilos of waste every single day.
Right.
So if you're filling this at 2.5 kilos a day, it'll take you 6 weeks to fill it inside. Because as you're filling it, it's breaking down all the time.
Okay.
It takes about 2 to 3 days when you start off initially to build up heat. And once it starts building the heat up, it accelerates very, very fast and up to about 75 degrees. So as you're putting the food waste in, it's reducing all the time. So it takes 6 weeks to fill it up. Then you leave that chamber alone. It'll take 6 weeks to fill the second chamber. And when you fill the second chamber, the first chamber is fully finished compost.
Do you know what I'm thinking as just a regular housewife going out with my stuff and to go into it, or houseman? What's the story about cleaning that out and
there's
smells?
There's no cleaning involved at all. It's also completely odorless. There's no smell at all. We recommend people put these right outside their back door, so they use them more frequently. There's no smell from it. It's completely vermin-proof, as you can see the way it's designed. Not only is it vermin-proof, it's vermin aren't attracted to it, because there's no smell of decomposing food. There's no so they completely ignore your pets, your dogs, your cats, animals in general completely ignore it. So I mean, people put them in their garages sometimes. We would recommend right outside your back door.
Outside, because then it's like the bin.
You're not having to go into your garden.
Absolutely. And do these come in different sizes?
Yes, there's two domestic sizes. This is the larger of the two domestic sizes. This is called the Big Pig.
The Big Pig?
Yeah, this will compost 2.5 kilos per day. So this will do a household of up to about 10 people.
Oh wow.
Anything up to about 10 people.
Yeah.
And if we move over here now.
The
smaller one here.
Oh yes, behind me here.
Yeah. This is the Little Pig. Now it's the exact same machine. It's just half the size, half the capacity. It's 125 litre capacity. This will do about 1.25 to 1.5 kilos per day.
And that's the regular sort of family
this
size.
This will do a household of up to about 3
you're
to 4
talking about
people.
plate scrapings, maybe some vegetable peelings. What about bones and things?
You can put
Turn around, just twist there. Yeah, no, you're alright.
You can put like bones into it. Chicken carcasses are no problem.
Really?
Compost chicken carcasses, yeah. Wow. Larger bones like T-bones from steaks, might take a few cycles to break down,
Oh, yeah.
but they will excuse me.
They will eventually
break down.
Will they?
Absolutely.
So all the bone slide, but you wouldn't put a leg of lamb or something in it, would
You could. It's up to yourself. If you break it up,
just take longer.
yeah. If you break it up as well, smaller the size of the food waste that you put in, the faster it breaks down. If you break a chicken carcass, it breaks down much faster. But any kind of poultry bone, like chicken, turkey, duck, that all, because it's a softer bone, it gets
And when,
composted.
for somebody who's learning about composting and everything and getting nutrients back into the soil in the garden, after it's done its journey of 6 weeks, what does it look like? And is it a problem with rats or anything
No.
coming in to eat the stuff that comes
No,
out?
because it's a fully finished compost, so it's free. It looks like moss peel. It's completely unrecognisable. Like the food that went into it, you don't see any of it out the other
That's
side.
really interesting, very important point.
Yeah, and it's fully finished compost. It's a very high quality. It would be comparable with manure for nutrient value. So it's
okay.
very good compost. It's also effectively organic as well, because it's only your food waste has gone into it. So it's great for growing your own vegetables. It's fantastic for vegetables.
Now,
You sell the wood pellets as well.
We do. We supply the wood pellets. They're also available in any hardware store.
Right.
They,
Sort of, yeah.
One bag. The larger composter you'd use approximately 5 bags of wood pellets per year, and the smaller one about 3 bags. And they vary in price between €5 and €10 for a bag of wood pellets.
that's
We sell them.
really-
Our wood pellets are about €7.50, and we send one out with composters when they first order.
it's great, it's brilliant, isn't it, Susan?
Yeah, I think that does away with your brown bin, gives you something back into the garden, it's not disappearing,
Absolutely,
you're just recycling and using everything.
Yeah, and instead of having to go out and buy compost for the garden,
Yeah.
you're really putting in the real
Yeah.
stuff
And
back into
if
it.
you're also composting your garden waste down the garden into something else, you have extra.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, Adam McCauley from Grow Green Solutions, yeah, thank you for talking to us today at gardenville.tv.